Alright, so what's good everybody? Today I wanted to do something a little bit different when it comes to the games that I wanted to play. And the thing that I wanted to try today was try out this mod that I found that basically makes Sonic Heroes a lot more bearable. And of course there's going to be more mods than that I have on. As you can see, one of the ones that I have is the widescreen mod, as well as the 4X GUI mod, which basically makes the game a lot more prettier than what it was. And one of the things that we can also see here is a character overhaul mod, which basically makes the characters look a lot less shiny than how they were in the base game. But that's not why I wanted to make this video, because that's not the main mod. The main mod that I wanted to show off today is called Sonic Heroes Adventure 3. It's a bit of a mouthful of a title, but basically what it does is it trims down Sonic Heroes to make it play more of like an adventure game. Because you see, one of the problems with Heroes was that while it was good, it kind of dragged on for like way too long at times. And not only that, with there being 14 stages that you have to clear 4 different times, it just makes this game really repetitive, and it makes it extremely difficult to get to the final boss. But this mod kind of remedies that by basically making sure that depending on the team you play, it cuts out that act. So for example, I'm playing Team Sonic, and because of that, I'm only going to be playing the Act 1 part of the stages. So I can only do Seaside Hill, I can only do Grand Metropolis, I can only do Casino Park, Rail Canyon, and so on and so forth. And that might make some people wonder, well, what about the other parts like Ocean Palace and Power Plant? Well, as you can see from the times, I only have 11 seconds on it. Well, that's because with the second acts, they basically skip you right to the end of the stage. And to make emerald hunting even more easier, they give you a key at the end that allows you to do the special stage, which makes getting all 7 emeralds so much easier than how it was in the base game. But I'm just going to start off with Seaside Hill and see where it goes from there. Yeah, with all these mods installed, it just makes Sonic Heroes look so much better. And you know, Sonic Heroes is somewhat of a special game for me because growing up, I didn't have stuff like a GameCube, I didn't have a PS2, Xbox, or anything like that that allowed me to play these games. So the best way that I was able to experience Sonic Heroes was just by watching YouTubers play it. And Sonic Heroes is one of those games where it's like, it looks good on paper and it looks good when you see other people play it, but it's when you actually play it yourself that you're kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this game. And I'm clearly not the only person who feels like that, because there are a bunch of people who just like Sonic Heroes, but they just cannot stand the thought of playing it. And that's probably why so many people want this game to have a remake, because if you generally remake this game and make it good, then this would become like one of the greatest Sonic games that they would have ever made. And granted, that can be said for a lot of Sonic games, because as much as I hate to admit it, well actually I don't hate to admit it, that a lot of Sonic games, especially the older ones, need a lot of help when it comes to how they play and how they control. And while we're on the topic, if anybody is wondering, I'm using the PC version of Sonic Heroes to do all this stuff. I know the GameCube is basically considered the best way to play Sonic Heroes. I don't know what it is, I just never found too much enjoyment playing the GameCube version. It's good, and I actually beat the game once while playing the GameCube version, but the PC version with mods is probably my way to go when it comes to playing this game. You're given a lot more freedom with what you want to do and what type of mods you want to install on this. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, like, this game really had the potential to be like one of the greatest, and I think most people would probably still put Sonic Heroes as one of their favorites, because it's definitely like one of the more popular Sonic games when it comes to the mainline franchise. And this was one of the first games to, was it the first game? It may have been. It was the first like newly like released Sonic game to go multi-platform. So a lot of the popularity for this game probably has to do with that. But I'm just saying, if this game had a fuck ton of polish done for it, this could have been way greater than how the base game was. Because while the base game is good, there's just so many issues that people have with it. Like I said, with the physics, they're way too slippery at times, and the controls are just all over the place. So this game getting some type of remake would be great. And not only that, but there were rumors of this game getting a remake not that long ago. So maybe for this year, they might publish one. If not, hopefully the year after. But I think this game is definitely up there with a Sonic game that needs a remake. But yeah, that was Act 1. And so when it comes to Ocean Palace, you're gonna see why it's only 11 seconds long and why this mod is called Sonic Heroes Adventure 3, because just like that, it just skipped me right to the end. And right here, they always put a key for you, so that way you could do the special stages, which is super helpful, might I add, because in the base game already, the special stages were hard as shit to get through. But even here with this mod, I managed to get most of the emeralds first try, but at least for the last one, I ended up messing up because of me not being able to see the bombs. So being able to just replay these stages just for the one time and grab the emerald that quickly is such a time saver. And I don't know if they tweaked the difficulty to grab the emeralds as well, but a lot of these emeralds are easy to grab as well. Like I said, I grabbed most of these on like my first try, and it was really only the last one that gave me trouble. That right there was basically Team Sonic and how their campaign is basically laid out. Like I said, it's just doing Act 1, you skip Act 2 with the chance to do a special stage, and then you get to do the bosses. But moving on, we now have Team Dark when it comes to their campaign, and I haven't made it as far with them. You see I'm only at 19, but we can just play the challenge stages and see how their campaign also plays out. And as you can see here, Seaside Hill is only 4 seconds, almost 5 seconds, but we have a full playthrough when it comes to Ocean Palace. But once again, we're just gonna load up Seaside Hill so you guys get an idea with how this mod plays out. It just skips you right towards the end, and you do not have to go through all that trouble of having to play every single stage, which I absolutely adore the fact that we don't have to play every single stage, because that was basically my main complaint with Heroes when I first played it. If it wasn't for the fact that, okay, why did the game just do that? If it wasn't for the fact that there's just way too many stages, I feel like, it was also the fact that these stages dragged on for way too long. Like stuff like the mansion level is stuff that drags on for like 10 minutes sometimes if you don't know what you're doing. So just having this is so much better. Another thing that should be mentioned for this mod is that I don't think you could use a physics mod to really change it that much, which is kind of unfortunate because, you know, one of my issues with this game is just I don't really like how slippery this game is. Like, I'm fine with how fast it is, but like, you sometimes just go all over the place, and at times you could just straight up fall off the map because your character just ends up going flying trying to do something. So unless this mod gets an update that kind of allows for physics mods to be a thing, for the time being it's probably better just to not really mess with it all too much. But if you've played this game enough, I feel like you'll be fine with not having to use a physics mod. But if it really bothers you that much, then you're kind of out of luck until further notice. But as I'm playing this, I might as well just ask you guys, what would be your favorite Sonic game? Because I feel like my opinion on the Sonic games always changes at least like once a month. And I feel like if you were to ask me like a couple years ago, I would still tell you that Heroes would be my favorite. But upon playing it, it kind of has gone down for me in my opinion. But these mods do somewhat help. But if we're talking about Sonic games that don't really require mods that I personally like, we'll probably look at games like Frontiers, Shadow Gens, and which I know are more the recent stuff, but generally those games have brought a lot more joy to me even when I don't have to use mods. Oh, and another thing that I almost forgot to mention for this mod is that there are technically 3 difficulties for it. What I'm playing right now is the easy mode / normal mode, but when you download the mod, you can download a hard mode and a super hard mode. Considering that I already have enough problems with this game, I just decided to stick with the normal mode. Like, normal mode is already kind of annoying enough for me, so trying to make this game even harder would just be a constant headache that I would not want to deal with. But now that we're on the topic of difficulty for Sonic Heroes, I might as well talk about Team Rose and how that plays out. I don't think I'm gonna play the Team Rose stuff because it's essentially nothing different when it comes to like Team Sonic and Team Dark. But in the base game, Team Rose basically acted as the easy mode for this game. I think how it went is like Team Rose was easy, Team Sonic was normal, Team Chaotix was like the intermediate one, and then Team Dark was hard mode. They changed that now, so Team Rose basically has the same difficulty as normal mode, which might not seem like that big of a deal for most people, but I feel like if you prefer to play as Team Rose, then that's a nice little bonus for people that want to use them, because they're basically not going to have their hand held the entire time. But while we are here, I might as well talk about the Chaotix story as well, because the Chaotix also had their missions changed up a bit to be a lot more easier to get through. And as a fun fact, I actually did beat Sonic Heroes my first time around with the Chaotix, because I played through Sonic's story a little bit, and knowing that Team Rose and Team Dark were basically just easy and hard modes, I wanted to actually challenge myself and see how this game would play with missions. And man, was that a mistake. I suggest people that have never played this game before to not use the Chaotix first, at least not the base game, because base game Chaotix missions are fucking terrible to get through. I'm confident for a fact that if I had just stuck with Team Sonic or even Team Rose, then I would have liked this game a bit more. But of course I had to do the Chaotix just to see how well I would do, and it did not turn out well. As I continue playing this, I do gotta say, man, like, I know I'm using a mod that makes it look better and have a higher resolution, but the more I think about it, I would really love to have a Heroes remake, just off the fact that the base game really does look beautiful as hell. Alright, we're almost about done. We're at 8 so far when it comes to the snails that we gotta collect. We're a little bit through it now. We only need one more. And yeah, it does seem like this game makes the missions a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie, I already beat this game already as Team Sonic, and I don't know if I showed it in the video already, but the Team Sonic stuff only took like maybe 2 hours to beat, which is probably like half the time it would have probably taken me had I not had this mod installed. And there's the last one. Okay, so yeah, that wasn't so bad. I don't know if it would make me want to replay the Chaotix stuff all over again, but I definitely say if you want to play this game with mods, use this mod especially. The Sonic Heroes Adventure 3 mod makes a world of a difference with this game. But yeah, that's basically the mod. That's Sonic Heroes Adventure 3. I'd say if I'm ever gonna replay this game again, I'm gonna have to use this mod, because base Heroes, as much as I want to love base Heroes, I just cannot, and this game makes it a whole lot easier to get through. So with that, I do hope you guys do enjoy the video, and I'll make sure to leave all the mods that I have down below for this game. One of them is gonna have to be like this mod loaders that you have to download, but other than that, it's really easy to set up, as well as if you have a Sonic Heroes PC ROM, which I won't talk about how I got that, but if you get the ROM for this game and you set up the launcher with how they want you to do it, it's really simple to set this game up, and I really suggest you use the mods that I have, especially the Adventure 3 mod, which is, like I said, it's just going to make this game a lot more easier to get through than how it is beforehand. And I hope you guys support the creator of the mod, because I imagine it's not easy to make a mod like this. I don't think it's done either, so the fact that I was able to get a bunch of enjoyment out of this game and even beat one of the campaigns, which was Team Sonic, with the mod that we have now says a lot. But with that, I will leave off the video here. I do hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time.